Good evening or good afternoon, everyone.
Mhm.
Butterfly Blooming Podcast with Melissa, if I say it right. But
Yes.
she's a social worker. She does another kind of pageant that I'm not in part of, but very interesting to know about her pageant. So take it away, Melissa. Tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Alexis, for having me here. It's an honor to be invited. My name, if you want to say in Italian, it's Melissa Varoni or Scioroni. A lot of people call me Melissa or various nicknames. I am a fellow pageant sister in another pageant, which is brand new to me. I am a professional registered social worker. I've been in the field for about 15 years, and after 8 years, I've been with my master's. So I serve a lot of individuals, couples, children, family, adults as well, with a variety of issues.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how did you start going into pageants?
Yeah. It's actually very interesting, maybe an odd way. One of my dear friends and fellow social workers, Vanita Puri, who is also on your show, convinced me actually to join. And it was very almost last minute. And I want to say forced me, but she really did just do a good job of convincing me to go in. And I wanted to do it because I didn't really think I was going to be able to do it. And I wanted to prove myself wrong.
Good, because it is a different from going from one pageant to another.
Yeah.
Each pageant has a different style.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me about yours, because I don't know about that pageant very
Yes.
well than mine I go to.
Absolutely. So I'm a final contestant for Miss Canada World Universal 2020-2021. As for anyone with or without experience, this is my first pageant ever, and it's to honor and embrace all women, regardless of their size, shape, color, socioeconomic status, and age as well. So it's something I really personally really identify with because personally and professionally, I'm all about diversity and embracing it and inclusivity. So I want everyone to feel included. They do a really great job of um, mentoring us and helping shape us, which I'm sure I probably need a lot of help with because it's a whole other world and it's extremely intense in pageants. I had no idea. So they do a good job with that. And the sisters that I have, got to know or further strengthen my relationship with it, they're all fantastic. They are stunning inside and out. So there's steep competition, and at the same time, there's a strong sense of sisterhood as well.
I think there's some that are in another pageants with me. So,
Hmm.
Binta, she's in the same pageant with me, and we're got to know each other more before that. Then
Yes.
she joined that same pageant as you,
Hmm.
but I'm joining another ones.
Yeah.
So right now I'm voting like you are. We're both in voting stages of our
Yes.
pageant. I don't know when is your last day to vote for you.
That's a great question. I believe it's May 6th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what about
So
yourself?
mine is this Sunday coming up at
Oh,
12
okay.
p.m. or 12 a.m. or noon Eastern.
Okay.
So 9 a.m. Pacific. But it's a very short notice. We only had like maybe 1 week to do it.
Hmm.
But I'm glad. I'm happy. If I don't win, I'll go to another one. There is a pageant that I'm looking into a lot. Uh, Kind of like a Christian group one,
Hmm.
but it goes to South Africa in on near Christmas.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't know if I'm allowed to go from there, time
Yep.
off from work that time, but I really don't care. But I know my work is good to me. They've been so on my side, pressure with my
Mm-hmm.
mom's treatment, so they know that I do want to go away soon. And this, but there's, I think this pageant is in June if I do win. So this one will be a question mark because of how we can't travel in the States right now.
Mhm.
Or we could, but then you have to pay the extra fee. But I don't want to do
Yes.
that. So if they doesn't allow us, then it will be next year. I could
Wow.
compete. But I'm also hoping I win my title for this year, for that, so I don't have to reapply again next year. But I will try again. I'll keep doing it until they tell me to stop applying. But it's fun. I enjoy the pageants because it builds your confidence, and I know
Mhm.
that you're doing it too, and it helps you too, learning other side of the wall on what to do for being a pageant girl, how much work it is, right?
Mhm. It is actually mind blowing, to be perfectly honest with you. I've always, since a young girl, I would watch, Miss USA or Miss Canada on television, and we'd all vote with my family. We would have the top three, and my brother would pick every girl, so he kind of was that kind of person. And, I always thought that can't be me, and it really can be. It can't be me. It can't be you. And I wish you all the best of luck in your pageantry, and I love your determination.
I'm like waiting to see what's gonna be like. Um,
Yeah.
Pageants are to me very better now than before. Um,
Mm.
but it's also too it's like amazing work that we have
Mhm.
will learn to do. Um, so tell me about your social working career.
Sure. I could talk about that for hours. Is there anything in particular you'd want to know about that?
Just anything you like to would love to tell anyone. It's up to you.
Okay. Well,
So
absolutely.
your show.
Oh, okay. Um,
About you.
Okay, well, I am a registered social worker. I live and practice in Grand Prairie, and I actually have clients all throughout Canada, and now some clients in the UK and France, and I think one coming up in South Africa. As I actually have a few specialties, and one of it is actually surviving narcissistic abuse. So I got to be trained by a very special physician, Dr. Carol McBride. So that kind of keeps me busy. I also, in small world conservative Alberta, actually support the LGBTQ2S community and do a lot of trans care as well. And it's something I'm very passionate about. And I love creating a safe place for everyone. And there's been a lot of progress going as well. And I'm a proud sponsor of the Pride community event. Unfortunately, due to COVID, as I'm sure you can appreciate, their event that we had scheduled in June, I think it was. I might be wrong, was actually having some drag queens come up, some famous RuPaul queens to help celebrate. And it was a huge event. So I'm hoping we can have it hopefully sometime next year. I support individuals, couples, families, children, and seniors, and I am one of the assessors. I also mentor a number of younger social workers who are more new in the field, and I actually had the privilege of actually teaching at the university level for the first time this past year too. So I really love social work. I believe that we all have the ability and power to make a positive difference in the world, and it's you know I learn as much from clients as maybe they learn from me. Probably I learn more from them. And I'm really honored to be able to witness sometimes the most horrendous things in society and also the most beautiful ones as well. So it keeps me going. I have a busy practice and I kind of can't get enough of it. So that's kind of a nutshell of what I do.
So what do you
Yeah.
do for fun anyway? After
Yeah.
besides pageant and social working, like do you kill off or like burn off some energy or something?
Yeah. You know what? I probably could do a better job with that, to be honest. And COVID, just like I hear many clients say, kind of challenges some of my coping strategies too. I really love to travel. Me and my partner in the past 4 years have actually been in 13 different countries together. I love attending cultural events. I love to cook and make masterpieces. Maybe a part of the Italian in me. I just love to be in the kitchen and comedy. Comedy is a big thing in music as well. and I like being goofy.
Well, so I know about Italians because when I'm in Miss BC pageant,
Hmm.
we had one Italian, and she was cooking cannoli on
Oh,
stage
okay.
as her talent.
Oh,
It
wow.
was fun. It was like, okay, you're going to cook for us right on the stage, like pre-made, like scenes that she could do
Yeah.
right there, prep it up just for cooking. But it was amazing how much she did that,
Mm.
partly for her talent. My talent was public speaking,
Oh,
but
cool.
that's what I'm doing next month. So this is a practice for me for doing speaking is
Hmm.
do my podcast. Um, yeah, I know you don't know much people in the pageants in
Hmm.
Queen, but who's your best friends who in the pageants?
Oh, that's such a hard question, and maybe not a fair one, to be honest. Um,
Okay, but one you like the
one of
most
the
right now. Who's helping you to
uh,
lead your
an arc particular pageant or
any pageant you want?
oh,
Who
any
gives you
pageant.
a bit helpful hints?
Oh, they all do, to be honest. The president as
Good.
well. I had to say Vanita Puri is probably the biggest one. She was the one that keeps checking in to make sure I'm doing my contestant work as well. So I probably, if I had to pick one, I would pick her. She's a great leader.
And she's new to pageants too. But me and her had nice chat because she helps me
Yeah.
too bit because the modeling is a little bit part of the pageant system, I
Hmm.
think. But it's amazing. What is your dreams and goals in life?
Ah, I have many. On a professional level, I actually would really love to open up a feminist clinic somewhere in one of the many 54 different countries in the African continent. Um, Probably where I have some connections and open up one to help women who are survivors or trying to flee from female cutting. I'm not sure if you're familiar of that issue is now considered a crime against humanity. And I would like to help support women so they can help support their community as well. I would also love to open up a counseling business, very similar to my training in KW Counseling Services, which is in Ontario, and help further teach and give hands on experience to future social workers to be a professor at university. And I really want to travel the world, to be honest, and just have fun. So I have lots of dreams and hopes, and I'm slowly working on that.
That's good because I know right now that's one of the questions going to ask next is if you could travel,
Mm,
if you had the money and the
mm,
time after COVID issues,
yes.
where would you go first?
Oh,
And who would you bring?
well, who I would bring would be easy. I would actually bring my fiance. I'm just recently engaged. We travel well, which most couples don't. So I'll take it. Um, I really would want to go anywhere. And to be honest, ever since I was 3 years old, I've always wanted to go anywhere in Africa. And just about 2 years ago, I went to Morocco. So I definitely want to keep going there. And I have a lot of connections in Nigeria or Kenya or South Africa. So I'd probably start with one of those countries.
I know.
Yeah.
Would you like going to like touristy cities, or would you like go the old fashioned, non touristy book places?
Yeah.
Like for
I
me,
like to do a little bit of both. You've been what? Sorry?
I've been into Mexico, so my Mexico
Mm,
trip was the outsider, the big touristy towns, but I love it.
Mexico's amazing.
Especially um, California, Baja.
Mm, wow.
That
You make me want to
scene
travel.
is like a place where you see tables and chairs at pallets from pallets.
Mm,
Their floors you see cattle and animals walking freedom. There's no
Wow.
gates or much, um, but it's like not hardly cement roads. Like it was pretty the old fashioned style of
Mm,
place. That's what I love. I'm like,
yeah.
"Ooh, I want to go back soon." I even got a puppy from there, so I love it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's great. I'm very similar to you. I like to kind of go off the off beaten track because I think you get a more true sense of what it's really like. And hanging out with locals is really fun.
What would you do if you win your pageant?
Mm, wow. Well, that would be a big day, wouldn't it? Um, well, hmm, that's a great question. I think I would really want to continue earning that title. I don't think it's just a one stop shop. And so I would want to keep fighting. And one of my platforms is actually violence against women. And so I want to continue to use that platform to help educate and support people as well. And on a personal note, I probably would need to gather my whole team and celebrate, hopefully together, but maybe virtually because of COVID, and just have a big thank you celebration as well.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I have my dreams, but it's
Yeah.
a future. Is my platform is LGBTQ and
Okay,
disabled,
fantastic. Wow.
and both. So I'm using
Mm,
my platform as me. Like I believe anyone could do anything they want. Doesn't
mhm.
matter how they do it. Being disabled, like with cerebral palsy, I done amazing things. I'm a
Wow.
speaker. Cerebral palsy is, for me, is my speech. I
Mm,
could do speaking now in front of people. I could write 3 chapters right now in a book,
wow.
3 different books, and eventually, my goal next project is another book or my own book. If I
I
could
love it.
figure, if I could do my own course to do it, but I would
Mm,
have a heavy editing done by the author or editors and like very detailed. And I think me and then one editor were in talks eventually
mm.
in trying to do me a book.
That
That's
sounds
kind of,
amazing.
yeah. Like bringing LGBTQ, a lot of people don't like as much, but
Mm.
that's changing. And I'm
I'm really
just,
glad it is changing.
oh yeah, it is amazing how much work it is now. Um,
Mhm,
that a lot of governments are saying, yeah, go for it. You want this, you want
mhm,
that, go for it. You have the rights
mhm,
now. In the States, they have the first Senate as a transgender
mhm.
who was elected this year. So I'm like, that's a good step for the States because states were the
Absolutely.
one who very conservative.
Mhm.
So I'm proud of that. I'm so glad. Even for the first vice president, female too. So it was amazing.
Yes. Mhm,
So there's things are changing in the role. Doesn't matter what color you are, who you are,
mhm.
everyone's right. Um, since we, what advice would you give someone to pursue in your job?
Mm. That's a good one. I actually give this out often. I remember in my undergrad year, a professor said there's a whole boatload of guilt here. And a lot of times, people who go into the helping field have their own traumas and issues, and they generally try to kind of figure that out and work through that through their job, which is fine. You just have to be able to do your work before you become a social worker or a therapist. A lot of times, people get triggered or they do things with not the best intentions as well. So I would tell people to do their work, seek therapy, it's okay to continuously grow. I encourage it, and also to find some really good mentors, that preferably a few different ones, who have different personalities as well too, to help shape your career. And don't
Good.
be afraid to ask for help.
Oh no, like that's
Yeah.
for me. I'm like, oh, I am giving up. No, no, I can't give up.
Yeah.
Life is too short to give up your life now.
Mhm.
Partially the way I've been working on with me, because my mom
Mhm.
has cancer, so I'm the
Right.
caregiver now. So I'm like,
Wow.
okay. So I'm very up in there, doing so
Mm.
much on mine. So some days when I'm at work, I just don't worry about her. Just
Mm.
have a mind break, and
Yeah.
that's fun. 'Cause I'm learning to do more, lots of stuff. Like eventually, I might be a manager now. So
Wow.
it's a big step for me. So I'm
Hmm.
learning step by step. And I've only been there for 2 months, and I'm like gaining the confidence of being a manager now. So I'm like,
That's
okay.
great.
I was like, now I know what was my ex-employer like, and my
Mm.
current employer. The current one likes me a lot. The ex-employer did not,
Mm.
but it happens. Um, what are the best resources to be in to be a social worker?
Mm. That's another great question. Um, well, I think one's education is not okay just to have a good heart. I hear that a lot, but you need to have the science and skill behind what you're doing as well. And having your own support team, I think, would be very important for resources and managing your own health. We actually have, as social workers, an ethical duty to take care of ourselves. We have no business to take care of ourselves if we can't, that if we don't take care of ourselves, let me rephrase, then we don't have any business taking care of others. And you probably know that too, with being a caregiver now. That's an extremely difficult job, and it's very emotionally taxing. And it's someone who you care about deeply and love, and so it takes that much more out of you. So you have to recharge and refuel. So, when you do that, you get a taste of what it's like, maybe being in our field every day as well. And but it's different because you have such a more stronger emotional connection. So you have to recharge.
Why it's like it's just hard for
Yeah.
if you don't take break,
Hmm.
you just burn out. Just being
Yes.
like working out so much, and you do like workout, like I used to do
Mhm.
8 hit exercise a day or a week, 45
Mm.
minutes, 8 minutes, or 8 times 45 minutes each week. And I was
Wow.
burned out. I didn't know I
Yeah.
was burned out, but another trainer told me,
Mm.
you fell down. I said, yeah, you burned out by then. I was like, oh.
Hmm.
So now I learn a lot um, because it's a lot of work if you don't be careful what you do. And
Right.
not for work. Like, sure, you could make, you love the money, want to work
Mm.
more hours, but really, you need to know, hey, there's a limit. And you don't know
Absolutely.
it until you're in a little bunk.
Hmm. You're absolutely right.
So,
Our health is a very important currency, and we often don't realize it till it's maybe challenged or taken away. And I think time is our most expensive currency, so we need to be careful how we spend it.
true. And you only have one
Yeah,
life. Um,
absolutely.
what was your, what if you know someone who else wants to join pageants? What would you tell them? Same thing as you were told?
um, Probably, to be honest, I would encourage people to be themselves, to let them know, to be honest, I had no idea how much time and energy and resources would be devoted to it. I have an even more profound respect for pageantry now, as well as all my sisters in any pageant. So I would let them know to build their team and to decide why they want to do it as well. Some people may just want the experience, other people want to go after the crown. And I think just being very clear about that and hopefully having fun. At the end of the day, I think we all need to have fun with it.
Oh yeah,
That's what I would tell them.
that's good because I know a lot of pageants are different, totally
Yes.
different system.
Hmm.
Um, I would curse someone to ask curious pageant girls who are into that pageant, what's
Hmm.
it gonna be like, and is it worth it for them or not? Because
Right.
some pageants are totally different, different
Hmm.
rules, different age groups. Um, I know that for a fact. There's things that I can't do, some of them I can do, but that's
Right.
happened. But who knows what's going to happen in the future?
Hmm.
But I know one thing is we all just show up. If you don't win, and our that lesson is just go in there and have fun
Yep.
and be yourself. Don't be like anyone else.
Absolutely. That's the best person to be.
Because if you don't know that person, you're not going to do well. If
Yeah.
you're, I learned that lesson hard way.
Mhm.
I was a little bit ticked or upset when I did it. Didn't win.
Mm.
But now I'm learned from my mistakes and
Mhm.
see if I could do better. So like if I don't win on Sunday, I'm just going to try again and just get the answers. What did I do wrong? What
Mhm.
can I improve? And then
Mhm.
try again. But each pageant is totally different. Depends on how many people join it. And
Mm.
yeah, I know your pageant you're in is very small. You guys are
Mhm.
that pageant is closed, so you guys are all who's in it. That's it for the year.
Yeah.
I know. I think I was going to try to apply, but I didn't do it. There are some pageants I don't apply, but
Okay.
there is one pageant I'm going to play soon.
Mm.
It's what they want to do is go Africa and do um, missions.
Okay. Great.
So that's pretty neat to try. I'm like, ooh, I
Mhm.
would love to do that. Go to another country and help those people.
Yeah.
But with the COVID, it's a little bit iffy right now because I'm not want to go somewhere and get COVID.
Right.
So I'm protecting myself and my family. So I'm hoping for I get my shot soon. I don't know if you get yours maybe sooner than me. Depends
What?
on what's your job or what's your promises like. I know mine is we're on an 80 age group now. So I'm like, I
Okay.
have one more race to go. Then I'll be
Mm.
at sync. I'll be past before my age group due
Mhm.
to being a caregiver. If I'm not,
Mm.
I'll wait till July for my first shot. If
Great.
we keep the plan. But everyone's still trying to debate on the how to do the shots. How are we
Mm.
going to do it? Because there's so many people have issues in like gene therapy, microchip.
Yeah.
Um, it's a depopulation drug to kill people. I'm like, no, it is a medicine to keep us alive.
Mm.
We need to stop. We need to kill the COVID before it do outweigh more powerful killing. All these
Yeah.
variants that are coming out right now is very bad. If we
Mhm.
do our shots, we're gonna be okay. I hope.
Yeah. I hope so too. I think we're all, I know we've heard it so many times, we're all in this together, and we truly are. And the majority of people on this planet haven't had a world pandemic to this extent. And serving people who've been in military as well or in wars, they often like what they're going through to what people are doing now with restrictions. So I think we can learn from our previous generations of how to improve our situation. And if we, are social heroes. I tell children I support, every time you put on your mask, you're putting on your social hero cape. And, I think we just need to be aware of the importance we all have and not be so self centered, to be honest. And know that, someone like you in supporting your mother, you have to be extremely careful, right? And I have the utmost respect for what you're doing. And it's a tough situation to go through regardless. And you just threw a pandemic on top of it. So I really hope for everyone's sake that it gets better sooner. And it has
True.
been. So I want to hold on to that.
Yeah, it's true. You're in Alberta, I'm in BC. We're both
Mm,
very close to our COVID numbers, but
mm-hmm.
the rest of the country needs to improve, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone's improving, even in the States. Shocking.
Mm-hmm.
But it is amazing. Like the job I'm in now, they
Mm-hmm.
have not been very hurt by the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so neat. Um, sure, we wear masks doing our job. We don't like that, but we have to. Or
Yeah.
gloves, hand sizer. Hand
Mm-hmm.
sizer always been like every time I done a customer, boom, I hand size.
Good.
So one day my hands are gonna be so soft that it's gonna be like
Yeah.
Butterfingers. But that's how I always kid around because it is true. Hand sanitizer is my best friend. I
Yeah.
might have bottles with me, like two of them on me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at work we have bottles like crazy for the
Good.
customers and us. So
Good. That's wonderful. I think Canada's leading the way in some of the COVID precautions. So that's great.
too.
It sounds like you're doing an awesome job. I know it's not easy or fun and it's necessary. So that's a good thing.
And with me, I was before a housing safety committee member. So I
Okay.
use that as an advantage for my new job because
Mm,
I'm always making sure no staff over 79 or 37. I
mhm,
don't believe they should be over 37. I was like, hey, make sure you're not below or higher than 37 or you
mm,
shouldn't be here. Go home, like for your sake and my sake. I'm like, I have
yeah.
family members with cancer. My
Mm-hmm.
mom's on chemo right now, and I'm like,
Mm,
eh. So I'm like a bubble right now. Like I don't
yeah.
want her sick. So if I get sick, I'm staying in my room, like a lock in room. Like I'll
Yeah.
just go in my room, in the kitchen, the bathroom. That's it. So I'm like,
Sounds like you have a plan. Yeah. I think we
yeah,
can all learn from this. Pre or post COVID, we shouldn't be going to work when we're sick anyway. So I think we have a new understanding and appreciation.
and I'm thinking workplace should be like, hey, you're sick, do not come in,
Yeah.
and we won't penalize. That's what my ex-employer
Mm,
did not do. They were, oh, you're sick, you have to be here. I was like, no, I'm sick,
mm,
I'm not coming in. Oh, you're got, oh, you need a doctor? No, I was like, no, I don't
mm,
feel good. If I'm on an essential medicine and I had a side effect from it, hey, my sake is my house is my main concern. You could fire me,
right.
play that game of evil, I could do it too.
Mm,
I always tell them, but it is amazing how we change our role.
yeah.
Um, one, what's one thing you wish you had known before you joined Pageant?
Uh, Definitely would echo what I said that I knew how much time and energy was invested into it and how much I would learn and about myself too. I thought I had a few things under control, but maybe I need to change a few things too.
But if you knew that, would you
Hmm.
did not do it, or would you still do it?
You know what? That's a really great question. I've kind of been asking myself that for a while too. Sometimes I'm like, no, I wouldn't do this just because of how busy I am. I'm working doubles every day for almost a year trying to support the clients as well. So it's kind of hard because it's like supporting our local heroes because I have a lot of clients who are doctors, social workers, nurses, surgeons, even and military, and they're in full force, as you know, in Canada trying to help with this. So I'm like, do I say no to them or do a little bit for me? So it's really difficult. I think I would still do it. I would just have better supports in place, maybe,
Nice,
if that makes
like that.
sense. Yeah.
And since you're in one pageant,
Yes.
in the future, would you do again more?
Uh, I don't know if my partner would like this answer, but I think I would. It's what I really love most is, the sisterhood, and I'm getting to meet amazing people who I wouldn't have otherwise, such as yourself. And, it's really good for me personally too to have those connections and develop great friendships as well. And it's always good to learn more about yourself as well. So I would. I don't know if I would do them back to back, but definitely I would consider it again.
I know some people would do more pageants, like
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yes, I could definitely see that. Yeah.
It kind of builds up your confidence.
Mhm.
Um, if you have a younger can or client, are
Mhm.
you going to say, "Hey, try to pageants"? Would you do that to them, or like give them pointers, like try something to do? I don't know how you would do it. Like say, "Oh,
Mm.
pageants might help you build your confidence, your self-esteem," or would you say, "Hey, what is your best scene?" Um, I know when I never did or started the pageants, my confidence was below, but
Mm.
now it's better. Really shocking. This is one of the things came from the pageants too is podcasting.
Oh, okay.
So it's something for me to do, or and then I have guests from like you, social worker, and Benny. She was a
Benita,
social
yeah.
worker. I had a
Mhm.
Toastmaster in here. I have
Wow.
someone who could sing.
Mm.
Um, soon I will have someone who will do, um, or I got some directors in pageants, queens from
Mm.
pageants. I have
Mm.
so many guests. I have some LGBTQ guests too on my show, and there's
Mhm.
more coming next couple months.
Great.
So I have
Absolutely.
all these guests, and then
Yeah,
I
I think
go on
that's fantastic.
and
Oh,
I do interviews too. So I'm excited for.
absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like you have great lineup of very fascinating people. To go back to your question with what I tell clients that I really try to help clients find their own answers, and that may or may not be with being in a pageant. I'm hoping that I'm known quite a bit as a social worker here, so I probably have a few clients looking me up right now. So they can see that, and maybe I can serve as a role model. As social workers, we can't tell you do this. We have to provide options. So it's a little tricky with our field, but definitely, if someone asked me about it and asked what did I learn about it, I would definitely tell them that I learned more about myself, and I made good friends and connections, and definitely boosted my confidence too, and learned a few things like maybe how to speak or hold myself better, something like that. So it could be helpful if people are interested. So that's what I would tell them.
Dude, I like that
Yeah.
because everyone is different.
Yes.
Who knows what happened?
Hmm.
Um, because who knows, right?
Hmm.
Haven't I don't think I have any more questions. Unless you want to ask a question.
I I would love to ask you a question. What keeps you going with all the, I might even say, the craziness of being in a pageant and, the busyness and all the challenges that people face? What keeps you going to keep doing it?
I love being community spirit. Like I do
Mm,
volunteering a lot. For me, being into the pageants helps people know that hey, she's doing it. She's
yeah.
here for volunteering, but pageants helps me to learn better too. Like my first pageant was a BC one,
Okay.
one of the biggest one in BC, and we were like workshops. So there was like self defense, or there was a
Oh.
makeup one, or skincare
Mm,
product, or workshop.
mm,
There were leadership or workshop. There was uh, a lot of different, and it was fun.
mm,
Plus was rehearsals, so that was 2 days. So there are some pageants I'm in right now. There's one that I'm hoping to win on Sunday,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a week of pageant. So that's a new thing for
Mm,
me. Never done a
mm,
pageant, um, but it'd be a nice place because I've never been to Florida yet.
mm,
But it's also too is see if I get good votes, I might do better in my score. But if I didn't do good on my score and the votes kind of help it might be like, okay, flip around. What do I need to work on? How to get more
mm,
people to notice me? Um, but like being into community charities, there's one charity that I kind of got into. Um, Due to COVID, it's kind of hard to meet each other yet, but it's like for women products, and
okay.
we'll pick up tampons and pads and all FEMA products and take it to outside different areas in the BC or in the Yukon, anywhere, and give
Mm,
it to females who can't afford it right now, the
that's
product.
awesome.
So they're doing a lot. They've been in here for a couple months, but they have other branches, one in Saskatchewan and
Mm,
one in Ontario.
okay.
So there's two ladies, two young ones who from school. One is in high school, one is in university. I'm like, wow. Like
Mm,
they kind of like got me into it too. They like,
mm,
you are good for social media
mhm.
attention, and that was good.
That's amazing. It sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
great work.
Oh yeah.
You're
But
definitely a
it's
community servant.
yeah, and I love it because it's why not? Um, with me right now, when I'm not doing my podcast this week, I'm doing thank you calls for a
Mm,
charity that I was one of the kids who saved or got treated from them. It's called Ready
wow.
Club, and they are BC, and we kind of like support. They support the families with special needs with
Okay.
resources and programs and who knows what. Wheelchairs. They do
Mm,
like they got a little. They buy bands and put each
mm,
sponsor put so much money. They get their name on the band for rest of the band life.
wow.
But it's amazing. So what I'm doing is they did a telethon 2 weeks ago, and
Okay.
I am now calling everyone. Hey, thank you for donation. Like I'm shocked how to do this. Even at home, being in my own desk and doing these calls on my phone. It's
Wow.
amazing. You can if I don't do it, I never would learn.
Mm.
but I love being out in the community.
That's amazing.
If I also I'm my customer service person, I love that's one of my traits. And if I don't talk to customers, eh, that's not me. And I've done that before. I went to a job that was a warehouse.
Mm.
Did not enjoy it. It was so stressful that I almost broke down.
Oh, wow.
Like, hey, I need a worker. I need counseling. I need counseling.
Mhm.
Like, I've even tried Christian counseling and did other
Okay.
counseling. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is not working. It was just that
Mm.
workplace. So
Mm.
now I'm in a workplace that is less stress. Sure, I
Good.
get more pressure on me, to,
Mm.
but I know what to do with the staff there. I getting to know each person
Mhm.
traits and what's strong. And when they're not strong, I kind of get them on the side, and they don't know that I'm not a manager, but I want to boost them up. Say, hey,
Mm.
pick up the pace, go for your breaks.
Mm.
Like, we're all as a team. We're not just
Right.
here for ourselves. That's what I like about
Absolutely.
it.
That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, so nice to do it. Community spirit.
Absolutely. I love the community. I actually learned that from my papa. That's Italian for father. And he actually, back at home in Guelph, Ontario, runs a actually well-known annual festival actually in a disadvantaged community where he got donations for all the individuals who maybe have poor financial situations that can go on all the rides for free. And so he, since a young age, he had a few flack from people, but he didn't care, which I love about him. And I learned community spirit from him. I'm on several boards with John Howard Society, the Council of Social Work Educations for the United States, serving sexual diversity for the LGBT community. So I'm really happy to be part of that as well, and been on the Alberta Clinician Professional Practice Council with Alberta Health Services, formerly now retired from that. And I really love giving back. And that's one of the reasons why I also stayed with the pageant as well, because it could just be that much more of a voice. So I'm there with you as a fellow community sister as well. I love the
No
spirit you
problem.
have. Yeah.
Because it's that like, I'm shocked that you're part of LGBTQ or know about how to treat us. That's amazing when there's some people like, oh, you're LGBTQ, you're nothing. Get lost. Like,
Mm.
for me, I like almost went to Alberta to live, and so I kind of had a little chit chat with Edmonton Pride. So
Okay.
me and them were getting along very well because I
Mhm.
was a Pride member too. But it is also amazing how you could learn a lot.
Mhm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
you know this
And
person, Sheila.
oh, Andrea Thompson Robb, she's incredible too. Yes, absolutely. Well,
I
Alexis, if this event does occur with the Grand Prairie Pride community, and if you are able to travel, of course, COVID restrictions, we want to honor. I would love for you to sit at my table and you could be my personal guest. It's a big
would
event, and it's going to be a dinner and a dance and a drag show. And in Portugal, I went to a drag, what do you call it, like a dinner, and learned how to cook some amazing Portuguese food, which I wish I knew how to remember how to cook, and got all done in drag. And my partner did too. It's maybe he doesn't want people to know, but and it was amazing, beautiful, fun people. And I'm really hoping we can do this next year or whenever the event can occur. Definitely keep me in mind, and when I find out, I'll save you a seat at my table
I'm big
and be
fan of.
prepared to party. Mm.
Oh yeah, every time it's a party. Come on,
Yeah,
but it
absolutely.
is it's amazing because I'm even in talks with um Windsor Pride.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's
Great.
amazing how I could talk to them and like, hey, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Pride I'm with, I'm like, we're not doing nothing. Okay, I'm going
Mm,
into my way or the highway. Like I don't care if they don't do nothing. I'm talking with all pride because that is my little mission in the side. If I
mhm.
ever figure out how to do it soon, is put on my website a help site.
Okay.
So the help site will be for LGBTQ who needs social workers or
Mm-hmm.
um, surgery
Mm-hmm.
appointments or what area they are in this Canada or states or outside the country or around the
Good.
world. So that is my little project that I need to work on still, but right
Yeah.
now it's on a side burner, but it might come
Yeah.
up soon.
Well, it's very important to have that information. I'd be happy to help you if I can in any way.
Yeah, and I know that we're a lot of people have been on my side right now,
That's awesome.
so it's been nice. It grows,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, I
it's
think it's
amazing
great.
how we change in the world right now.
I
Yeah,
think that's needed. And I think we have the right to love who we want to love. And we definitely have the right to be who we truly feel we are. And there should be no discrimination based on gender, sex, cultural heritage, social economic background, or anything like that. Um, and definitely stand beside it. So I'm, I'm glad we are fighting the same fight as well because we all deserve that.
true. And if your dad still does he still do the Ontario event or is he done with it?
Oh, he's been doing that for how old am I? Over 25 years. And he's still doing that. I just don't think he did this year because of COVID.
When he does again, I will come and help him.
Oh, he
And
would
I know,
love that. Yeah.
or I'll get some other surprises, like get
Oh,
people to come. Like that's one thing too. When you're in the pageant, sisters
hmm,
do go to sisters and help them.
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. I
And
love the
doesn't matter
sisterhood.
where you are,
Hmm.
who you are, what you are, there's still sisterhood. And that's
Yes.
amazing about mine is for my pageant, I still contact that group from 2 years ago.
Mm,
So it's neat. Some of us still talk on the side. And then others who are older group or the next division still talk to us. And I still talk to my queens.
that's wonderful. Well, I would really appreciate that. And I know my father would like any help he can get. And definitely it's to support a run charity for the church he's very much involved in. And um, I just think everyone, regardless of their background or situation, should be able to enjoy things and live a healthy, meaningful life. So I'll tell
True.
him he'll be very excited. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You could tell me more details on offline one
Sure.
day.
Yeah.
One day.
Absolutely.
When
Yeah.
we both have time, freedom. Right now our freedom is kind of busy right now with your work craziness because how much COVID is driving
Hmm.
everyone crazy. But I'm hoping
Yeah.
it dies down and you can relax, do your pageant without
Yeah.
a hit, and
Hmm.
I'll hopefully I do my pageant without a hit. Like I talked to a nurse today in the cancer clinic. I was like,
Mm.
I bought my water bottle and I was like, this is where I do for fun. She's like, wow. I was like, yeah. And she's like, I hope we could get better now. I was like, yep. Because it's weird to be in a cancer clinic and see other clients,
Hmm.
no one with them. no support,
Yeah.
no family member. I'm lucky with my mom because she's older age and
Mm,
she says support. So I'm there, answer questions. If she doesn't answer some questions, I will
hmm.
ask it to make
That's
sure she's
great.
okay. But it's amazing how much the clinic knows us very well after 2 visits now. I was like, oh, you're here. I say, yep. Okay. So I show them my paperwork and then I go in with her.
Mm.
So I get a Zimp card to be in that
Oh,
room.
okay.
And I kind of want to do is I'm thinking buying them cookies from my work,
Mm-hmm.
package them,
Yeah.
and instead of like work a cookie and make it like a heart, I
Oh,
might do something sneaky on them. But I need to make sure that I'm allowed to do this to them because I
oh,
want
okay.
to know how many nurses there in
Yeah.
that ward in the cancer clinic and see, and then hers also hers but Ursula's who's watching her get something
Mm.
too. And
Absolutely.
his,
They definitely deserve that. And I know nurses especially love those treats too. And you just have to be careful with the COVID restrictions, but I'm sure you can make
sure,
it work.
that's why I'm like, okay, I'll get them into bags. Like it would be sealed packages and that
Mm.
more safe for them because they don't want had their hands
Yes.
in the food.
Yeah.
And I know because of my work, we kind of like, oh, this is a customer's order. Okay, we need to make sure this.
Hmm.
Oh, we want like for schools, they're calling us for treats. You're like,
Mm.
no, we don't have little containers for our cupcakes, but we could do the cookies, but we can't do the mum.
Hmm.
So it's weird how you see the clientels are like, oh, hey, I want small cakes, not big cakes right now.
Hmm.
Everyone wants small cake. So I'm
Yeah.
happy. My work is getting booming. Especially with cookies. And I'm stop eating them. Oh yeah, I do eat them a lot.
Well, and no one can say no to a cookie. So
True. I think
we
that's
should
it.
make
Unless
Miss Canada cookies, maybe.
maybe. Well, like
Wonderful.
ship a queen crown.
Yeah. And vote for me. I like it.
Ooh, let's do that.
Yep.
Put a little slip of paper say, vote for me next time.
Why
That's a
not?
good
You
idea.
deserve it.
I think any more questions you want to ask? Or
Oh, I could talk to you forever. You're so easy to talk to. I just really want to say thank you for allowing me to be one of your guests. You have a number of amazing people on here, so I'm honored that you would consider me to be part of it. And I definitely enjoyed myself. I do hope that everyone votes for you. You're definitely a true leader and definitely want to promote that. I will put that on my Miss Canada World Universal page as well. And once again, thank you. And I hope people will consider voting for me when it's my turn.
yep. So guys, don't forget to vote for her on her
Liz.
Miss Canada website. She
Mhm,
does have a voting page,
mhm.
as like I do too. We're totally
Yes.
different voting. Hers is $5 per vote,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
mine is $1 per vote. You could vote many times you want for
Mhm.
both of us. The more you vote, better chances for us. But
Absolutely.
I'm not telling you to do it, but give you a hint. Um, but it's also I have option now too. If you cannot use a credit card or have a credit card, you could message me and I'll use my credit card. Or I can
Wow.
mention my director and he will use his credit card with the
Wow.
transfer me and I'll transfer him. But that's another way of doing it this year now.
Wow. Great. And
Who
if I could Yes, who you know. And with that being said, any money raised from anyone who you vote for in our pageant actually goes towards the Leah International Foundation and actually supports disadvantaged women going back to school and providing mental health supports. So it's something that's very dear to my heart as well too. So regardless of whoever you vote for, which I prefer you vote for me, but that's okay. Regardless of that, it does go to an amazing charity for a great cause. So please vote and please vote for Alexis.
Thank you so much for being on my guest on my show, and have a great day and stay safe. Also
Thank
stay
you.
safe, everyone. Wear a mask
Yes.
and social
Yes.
distance. Wash your hands. Do what
Yes.
we need. We need to get this COVID out of our system now. Okay, and have
Absolutely.
a great day, guys.
Thank you.